Welcome. Hello, lovelies. Good to have you here at the Indigo Rose Lounge. What now? I heard that. So, as much as you aren't going nuts, you really are in your bath or in your car or sitting in your bedroom or in the lounge. You're physically in one place, but you're listening to my voice, and this energetic space is one I hold. I call it the Indigo Rose Lounge, and that picture that you see on the screen, well, that's what it looks like. Rose and comfortable, big cushions and go balls and candles, incense, and of course cookies. You can't forget the cookies now. So I have had a question. Someone asked me about astrology. So astrology, let's see. It seems to be something that a lot of people are curious about. And so I'll give you my take. I did a proper astrology course, weeks and weeks, risings and the ascendants and where all your planets are. And I think there's a lot of value in self-discovery of that journey. So once you do your full astrological chart, and it says to you that you are this kind of a person who does these things, it's really difficult to deny that there's truth there. So this is how I understand it. You are spirit going through all of these experiences, picking up abilities. Finally, you get to the point of manifesting into the human experience. And at the moment of your birth, this world that you were being born into, this physical, time and space monitored, constricted world, your initial experience of the world, that first barrage of frequency in the world, could well have set a grid work for you to operate from. I think that's important because in a field of infinite possibility, that you wouldn't have starting points seems a little counterintuitive. We have to have a place to go from, some defaults that need to be set in. When I did my accurate to the minute of my birth astrological chart, it seemed quite astounding where your parents are in your chart, where other people are, the significant others in your life seem to turn up in your chart. It's really awe-inspiring how accurate these things are. Of course, your daily readings on the magazine or newspaper really aren't. So it is a worthwhile voyage of self-discovery to look at your accurate chart done on the moment you were born, to do a self-assessment. But I think we can possibly leave it there. Once you understand this is the cosmic playpen that I was born into, you can then transcend as like a child. You know those playpens that you put a child in, and they can crawl around, and then at some point they learn, hold on, I can get over this. And then you'll never get them to stay in that thing again. So astrology for me really feels like very insightful, and it feels like a cosmic playpen. It does apply to your personality and to your human experience in this personality, but you are an eternal being. So it's really only going to apply to your experiences of this life and your personality in this life. And this is a personality, sorry to tell you, that you will leave behind when you transcend this life. If your soul trottles off this mortal coil, you will not take these personality traits with this astrology with you. You will then return to pure spirit, and with all the learning and the knowledge that you've acquired here, or none if you didn't, But it does help in this lifetime to understand the cosmic playpen. I'll give you an example. I have 7 planets in Libra. Sounds ridiculous in it is, but I have literally 7 planets in Libra. So if you present me with a choice that doesn't have an emotional backing to it, it's a choice between one blah thing and another blah thing. Absolutely, I'm stumped. Oh, but if you put an emotional component in it, I have no problem. The moon in Leo, well, cusp, but it's Leo helps me greatly there. So this is a grid work that my spirit gets to live through this grid work into this human experience. It gives me some default. So if I go to a restaurant, just in order not to annoy everybody, I have a list of 5 things that I'll order. That's it. If they aren't on the list, then as close as I can get to one of those 5 things, it's still what I'm going to order. Because I know this limitation of myself, and instead of annoying myself and the rest of the world, I've built up ways to counteract that. And so it's a nice little adventure, getting your chart properly done. I believe you can even do it for free online. And then you can look up what those planet placements mean. What does it mean to have a moon in Leo or Cancer? What does it mean to have Saturn in this place? Interesting. And it's a good understanding of the self you're living through. But remember always, you are a spiritual being having this human experience. So really all you're understanding better is your human experience. What are the propensities of this human mind? And so you can look that up, get yourself some insight and understand, that's why I do that, and that's why I do that. And if you don't want to do it anymore, you can transcend it. You can climb out of the cosmic playpen, and you can just decide not to be like that anymore. I think that it is a governor of, as I say, the human experience. I think this idea of every day of your week or every day of your life being mapped out and defined in astrology, that might be a bit of a waste of time. It might detract from you showing up fully present in your moment. We want to maybe set aside some of the rabbit holes. But here would be my rule for myself. If looking down that path makes you a better person, if it helps you to understand yourself better, if it helps you to heal in any way, then absolutely. Just be careful that it doesn't detract you from your present moment. Because your moments are where all the yummy stuff is. That's where your joy lies. That's where your love exists. So you want to be present. You don't want to be intellectually surfing off the present moment. You try and understand if the person that you're encountering has, I don't know, Saturn in their Uranus, or I don't know, whatever. So that might detract from your present moment. So it's a useful adventure if you want to go down there and have that exploration. It's fun. You can get to understand yourself in different ways and understand yourself as a human experience. But remember that that astrology will not go with you after death, and it didn't exist before you were born. So it's not an eternal quality. It's just something that helps to govern gives you a framework to operate in the world. And understanding it can be helpful. And when Mercury goes into retrograde, we can all have something to moan about together. Well, there we go. That's my take on astrology. I think it's a lovely adventure, and I think it must and as little as it supports you. If it makes you laugh, then that's good too. Anything that supports the journey to love. Love always